The Phoenix Lights was a mass flyover over the entire state of Arizona on March 13th, 1997. May have started the day before, may have extended into the day after. We've got reports spanning a period of maybe 36 hours there, from the northwest corner of Arizona all the way down into the border of Mexico.
The Phoenix Lights is one of a series of events that took place during the month of February and March of '97. As I understand, there were several sightings of a triangular or a boomerang-shaped object that flew over various areas throughout the American Southwest. Phoenix was just one of those areas. So when we refer to the Phoenix Lights, we're talking about the event that just happened here in a small corridor of Arizona.
We saw a lot of different objects that were reported during that 36-hour span all across the state. We saw some people reported the black triangle. Some people reported they could see through it. Some people reported no, it had an Aztecing design on the bottom of the craft. Some reported that it blocked out all of the stars of the sky. It was so close overhead. There were people up on the Sunset Point on the I-17 going to Flagstaff, pulled over to the side of the road, 30 or 40 cars right there, pulled over to the side of the road in the daylight, saw the craft flying down through the canyon right there alongside the road. There was also a Little League baseball game going on in Phoenix. The whole, both teams stopped, the coaches, the parents spectating there, all stopped and watched it fly over. So there's a lot of different things that we've heard from people. Also up on the Navajo Reservation, there's a lot of stories up there that had been going on a couple of days prior to March 13th, 1997, where they were seeing things in the sky they discounted as a normal occurrence. They were all taking their lawn chairs out and having a nightly show. So there's just a lot of stuff that happened during that time period.
Up into and including during the mass sighting, when thousands of people statewide throughout the entire state, over many hours, by the way, not only saw these orbs, but they also saw craft traverse very low altitude, about rooftop altitude, very, very slowly gliding. Some people did see it take off at a tremendous speed, over a mile to 2 mile wide in some estimations. Totally silent. That was what was so eerie for everyone. After finding out, and I did photograph that night the 3 points of light of like the end of a mile-wide V or triangle object, and finding out the next morning that thousands of people had seen what I had been seeing.
We were intended to see this thing, whatever it was. We don't know exactly what it was. And from a researcher's standpoint, we know it happened based on the number of witnesses. There's not good film footage. There's not good photographs of the event. But when you have that many people, you know, testifying to this event, we know it happened.
It seemed to be more of a personal experience for each of the people that saw the craft or felt the craft. Some people say that they had a feeling of peace come over them. Some people had messages extended to them saying, "Don't worry, we're not here to hurt you." So there was I don't think I've spoken with anyone who had any fear-based experience.
I've been involved with MUFON for 10 years. We've still, after 10 years, we have people coming forward telling us that they saw this, they witnessed this event.
We've talked to a lot of people that have come forward just recently saying that at the time they had a really hard time being able to talk about this. They felt as if a numbing sensation was over them and they were not allowed to talk about it. So now we get probably one person a month that calls into Phoenix MUFON and says, "I just now feel like I can talk about this, but I was witness to those Phoenix Lights that night."
I had really tried to do my homework and for the public, besides myself, trying to look for a logical explanation, and what I found just opened up a whole new world to me that I really felt obliged to share and was appreciated, which was amazing. And I had more doctors and their wives coming up to me and sharing stories that they had, and I realized that there are many, many millions of people out there who have had experiences. And just by sharing my own with the whole story of how the Phoenix Lights unfolded, and a lot more, it really has helped other people transform from that healthy skeptic stance that I had. One must be open when you're a physician, but I certainly was skeptical.
The museum had asked us if Phoenix MUFON would like to partner with them in creating this display. So of course we said yes, we'd love that opportunity. So we gathered up some of our attendees, some of our good friends, graphic artists, people that can put out the production on the signs and the verbiage, great videography, great still shots, and we just created this really fun, interactive display at the museum.
We had a very small exhibit previously, but I've been here about a year and a half now, and it just didn't seem to do it justice. I was intrigued by the whole idea. I lived here at the time that it happened, and I wanted to see us build something that was much more engaging and much more compelling for our visiting public. Particularly with the video that is in the exhibit, it has actual 9/11 calls, recordings of 9/11 calls. There's a lot of information in those videos that I think really do give credibility to the story that we're trying to tell and to what the MUFON group is trying to do. It's our duty to share other kinds of history, and we view this as a historical event. It's not for us to make any judgments or to say, what it was or anything like that. It's for us to present information, to present facts, and let the public make their own judgments and assessment. There are those who may think, well, this is a history museum. Why do you have this exhibit? But again, our perspective is that this was a historical event. It is well documented. What it was, whether it was a UFO or flares or whatever it is not for us to say. But it is a documentation of an event that occurred in 1997.